This is CBC Winnipeg News.
Manitobans begin digging out. Many woke up to winds whipping snow, causing whiteout conditions on highways. Morning commuters were snowed in, schools were closed, and flights canceled. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. That first wallop of winter has hit. An overnight storm forced widespread closures, stranded drivers, and caused massive delays for others. The blizzard created dangerous conditions across southern Manitoba, and we aren't out of the clear just yet. CBC's Alana Cole begins our coverage.
Snow and wind, a treacherous combination. Early this morning, vehicles stranded, many highways closed. A warning from RCMP to stay home.
If you don't need to go anywhere, it's a snow day, stay home, take advantage of it.
This is what Winnipeggers woke up to. Ryan Hildebrandt was up at 5 heading to work.
Holy, went out to my car, next thing I know I'm scraping off a couple millimeters of ice off my windows. This is probably the thickest I've ever seen it on the windshield.
He's been clearing snow for hours.
Everyone is out right now. There isn't a person who doesn't own a loader or a skid steer or a shovel who isn't out right now.
The city of Winnipeg says as many as 300 pieces of equipment are part of the cleanup, and they'll be clearing snow throughout the weekend. It's pretty clear some residential streets are hard to get around on. We got stuck on one this afternoon. Our videographer Justin, along with his wife and neighbor, helped get us out. The snowfall also meant no school for the day, canceled university exams, and only people considered high risk getting home care visits, according to the Winnipeg Regional Health Authority. At the airport, cancellations and delays. This couple hoping to get to Las Vegas. They're getting married Monday.
We still haven't gotten anything, any flights
got
yet.
canceled, so
Yeah. So we don't have.
we don't know when we're leaving.
As for some others, they're making the best of it.
This is just normal, part of Canadian winter peg.
These two heading out to pick up a package for a friend.
If something is in my mind I need to do today, I need to do today. You're going to wait for sunny weather that may or may not come.
You just go, you just do it if you have to, right? Okay, thank you very much.
There's more snow in the forecast. Alana Cole, CBC News, Winnipeg.
The city of Winnipeg says its crews are working hard to clear all of this snow. They're currently plowing the main roads and taking a pause from clearing sidewalks because of that blowing snow. But the plan is to resume tonight at 7. Back lanes are scheduled to be cleared tonight and through the weekend. Residential streets won't see those plows until Sunday because more snow is on the way. The city's reminding people not to park on streets designated as winter routes, or you could be ticketed and towed. The snow is causing delays for transit users as well. The city suggests checking the online schedules before traveling. This morning, the call to close schools came too late for many parents who say divisions waited too long. One mother told us the email came just minutes before her kids were set to start walking to school. Fortunately, she didn't have to work today and could keep the kids home. Otherwise, she wouldn't have even got the school's email canceling classes because, like many parents, she's not allowed to use her phone at work. The Manitoba Teachers Society says its members are also frustrated. They're calling for a wider conversation on how to put out quick and clear protocols for upcoming severe weather conditions. And while many are struggling to clean their walks and driveways or make it through snow-packed roads, others in Winnipeg are struggling to find a warm place to stay. And as CBC's Felicia Adam reports, community groups say finding those spaces is difficult.
Want to go in there?
Outreach teams were busy Thursday.
Hey guys, you guys want some scarves?
Visiting bus shelters, handing out warm clothes, food, and trying to get people into shelters.
How you guys doing today?
Vincent Lilly is on one of 4 teams checking on vulnerable people.
On a day like this is that we want to try and do what we can to try and get them the support that they need into the shelters. You know, we go through the through the calling around to the shelters to see if we can get them in.
Lily says while they've been able to get people inside, they haven't been able to guarantee a bed.
I've been here all morning.
Over at St. Boniface Street Links, they're also running into the same problem, scrambling to keep up.
The challenges are much greater for people that are outside. It's about, we're hoping that the people that were outside are still alive, because that's what it becomes. It becomes a life and death or death matter for people.
Marion Willis says outreach teams have been out doing what they can since Wednesday. But with shelter spaces filling up, they're forced to look into other solutions.
Who do you know? Where are they staying? Do you have any natural supports, any family members?
While David Mandel has a place he calls home now, last winter he was without housing for 6 months.
So many nights I would just stand inside of a 7-Eleven because it was too cold to be outside.
He would like to see the city do more to help people in those situations.
I would say there's very little out there. There's you have facilities, but not nearly enough. It's more of a Band-Aid type of approach.
Siloam Mission's pop-up warming center was over capacity Wednesday night.
And this really speaks to the need in the city, because all the shelters, like the sleeping spaces, are full. And so the idea is that the pop-up is an additional space, and we are at capacity already.
The organization is gearing up to let more people in Thursday night as temperatures continue to drop. Felicia Adam, CBC News, Winnipeg.
But the Salvation Army isn't letting a little snow stop them from hosting tonight's holiday dinner. The Winnipeg Centre of Hope is serving Christmas meals for up to 1,600 people tonight. Organizers don't expect the snow to deter people from attending the meal, though they expect to lose some volunteers because of the weather. Staff have been preparing the meal for weeks: 160 turkeys, 500 pounds of potatoes, and 50 gallons of gravy, all made from scratch. Kids in the Salvation Army's family shelter could even be getting a surprise visit from Santa. Riley's in now. Riley, of course, Santa, no stranger to these snowy conditions. While the snow might be done, we are going to be contending with something else tonight.
Yeah, that's right, Brittany. Prepare for a night of very cold temperatures province-wide. I mean, we got a taste of that overnight last night in the north, but here's a snapshot of your Friday morning temperatures. You're getting out the door temperatures at -27 in Winnipeg, where we will start to see some cloud cover building in overnight tonight, some slightly warmer temperatures in the west, but factoring in the wind chill overnight tonight. And you can see I've put the legend for you on the side here, looking at values into the -40s along the Hudson Bay coast. That's frostbite on exposed skin in less than 10 minutes. Less than 15 minutes for much of southern Manitoba through the overnight hours. That's because high pressure has moved in behind this low, really cleared us out. So we have cold warnings in place for a good chunk of northern Manitoba and northwestern Ontario because of that anticipated cold. But we have a snowfall warning in place for parts of the Parkland and a blowing snow advisory, Brittany. And this is all because of what's coming tomorrow. We'll do it all over again when I come back.
All right. Thanks, Riley.
You're welcome.
Well, it's not only dangerous road conditions that are keeping first responders busy, waterways aren't yet frozen. RCMP were called to separate incidents this week after people and vehicles went through ice on 2 different lakes. As CBC's Josh Crabb reports, search efforts are ongoing in what's been a tragic start to the winter season.
An image from an RCMP drone shows a search and rescue team member next to a pressure ridge on Lake of the Woods near Buffalo Point First Nation in southeast Manitoba. Another shows the tracks of what the RCMP says was a side-by-side driven by a 71-year-old ice fisher. He had an ice shack about 5 kilometers north of the community's marina. Officers got a report Tuesday night the man from Buffalo Point was missing.
Unfortunately, the weight of the side-by-side, I think, might have been too much for this area, and it went under.
RCMP Sergeant Paul Manag says crews used their specialized amphibious vehicle to access the area. Neither the man or his side-by-side have been found.
At this point now, we'll have to look into the logistics of our dive team, if perhaps this is an area they can go to.
The underwater recovery team is already responding to a different incident. Earlier Tuesday around 1:20 in the morning, Mounties were called to Cedar Lake, west of the Grand Rapids generating station. Police say a man and a woman drove onto the lake and their pickup truck broke through the ice. Searchers found the pickup truck, but as of Thursday, they hadn't found the two people who were inside. Mississippiwistic Cree Nation Chief Heidi Cook confirms they are both from the First Nation. Cook says it's a difficult time and family members are requesting privacy. The chief says everyone in the community is praying they are found soon. Meantime, Life Saving Society Manitoba spokesperson Lauren Edwards says incidents involving people going through the ice are common in spring and early winter and typically account for about a third of drownings each year.
You know, it's something we definitely don't want to hear. And that's why, you know, we're always working hard 12 months of the year to try to get those water and ice safety messages out there.
If you plan to be on the ice, the Life Saving Society recommends wearing a buoyant snowmobile suit or flotation device, going out with others, and testing the thickness of the ice. Josh Crabb, CBC News, Winnipeg.
And still ahead, the province's housing waitlist soars to its highest level in 5 years. What that means for low-income families in need of housing when we return. The number of people on Manitoba's public housing waitlist is now the highest it's been in 5 years. A 2023 I-Team investigation found thousands of people on the waitlist while many units sat empty. Tenants and advocates say this means many can't get housing or are stuck in homes that are unsafe or too small for their families. I-Team reporter Michelle Allen has their story.
Social housing units that can fit families are in high demand in Winnipeg, and that demand is growing. The Manitoba housing waitlist is the longest it's been in years. That means some families are stuck in units that are too small for them. We met a family of 6 crammed into a 3-bedroom place, double bunking and sleeping in the kitchen. They say they've been on the wait list to get a home like one of these for almost 6 years.
My 9-year-old is in a little makeshift closet room, and I have my almost 12-year-old out in the kitchen.
Savannah Hoard says not much has changed since CBC interviewed her 2 years ago. She's still waiting.
And I can't even get into a 4-bedroom where I could maybe have my 2 younger ones share.
As more families struggle with the rising cost of living, demand for public housing is rising too. But experts say the social housing supply isn't keeping up. In 2023, the wait list was just over 5,000 people long. Now there are over 7,500 people on it, and it's the highest it's been since 2020.
Over many years that we have underinvested in it. We don't have enough of it, and again, much of it that we have is not in good condition.
A 2023 CBC investigation found more units were sold off than built under the Tories. 51 new social housing units have been built since the NDP came to power in 2023.
Previous government was selling off housing. It took minutes to sell. It takes years to build. It's going to take, us quite some time. There's a lot of work to be done, but we're very committed to doing the work and getting people the supports that they need.
So I had them clipped onto the...
Hoard says she doesn't expect to get off the wait list before her kids are old enough to move out. But with market rent prices as high as they are, they'll likely be stuck here a long time. Michelle Allen, CBC News, Winnipeg.
A plan to build housing next to the Granite Curling Club passed a vote at City Hall today. Council voted to rezone part of the club's parking lot. Despite concerns from the board, the plan could threaten its long-term survival. One city councillor says the city's decision today could put it in legal jeopardy. CBC's Cameron McLean reports.
The Manitoba Municipal Board seemed to have handed the Granite Curling Club the hammer in its fight with the City of Winnipeg. But despite a recommendation that would have given the club a veto over a plan to build housing on the parking lot next to it, Council voted today to go ahead with subdivision and rezoning, clearing the way for a 111-unit affordable housing project. Kristen Pierce, the club's secretary, says they don't oppose housing, but the loss of parking spaces could put the club out of business.
It seems to me that the mayor and EPC think they might be above the law on this, and I think that's concerning.
The municipal board told the city it could only issue a development permit for the housing project after the club was satisfied with the parking plan. City lawyers argued council could ignore that recommendation because the board does not have authority over development permits. Councillor Brian Mays abstained from the vote, saying the city should have gotten external legal advice.
Because otherwise you've got the City of Winnipeg, the applicant in this, asking the City of Winnipeg legal staff, is it okay to ignore the Manitoba Municipal Board? And that just seemed a conflict to me.
Mayor Scott Gillingham says any issues around parking can be solved through a new lease agreement with the club.
The terms of that new lease will come back to the Standing Policy Committee on Property and Development when they're ready. And so for those reasons, as I've said all along, I believe there's a win-win scenario here that we can achieve.
The club says they're waiting to hear the city's plan, but a possible court challenge could be their next play. Cameron McLean, CBC News, Winnipeg.
It's been nearly a month since Winnipeg's new encampment bylaw came into effect. But outreach team says there's not enough housing. Shelters are full and there aren't being given enough time to connect people with supports. Greg McPherson with the City of Winnipeg says there are no easy solutions.
Resources that we have are finite. I think we're learning our responsibility as a city. We weren't expecting the degree of encampment size that we experienced last year. It was a challenge. We also had hopes, I think. We put a lot of faith in our provincial partners who are amazing, and they're working really hard to provide new units of housing and to try to solve that crisis of the housing shortage. we're contributing in our own way as well. But I think that without the adequate supply of units, and if people still persist in camping outside throughout the year, it creates, a unique set of circumstances that's not always easy to mitigate or to control. So we're learning as we go. It's an evolving situation. And I think that my real hope in all this, and the thing that I hang my hat on, is that we all mean well. Everybody wants the same thing. We want to protect our vulnerable neighbors. We want to be sure that our public spaces are accessible, and we want to try to house people who need the housing.
All right, Riley, back in now. And if people did leave the house today, it wasn't necessarily the snow that was the biggest problem for many of us. It was those whipping winds causing real concerns.
I was walking into work at about 6:15 this morning, and there were cars stuck in snowdrifts on my street. So
it was a day.
It was a brutal one out there. I'm going to start with the wind because we're not necessarily done with the wind either. So we'll start with the peak wind gusts from today. And as I always say when I show this is Environment Canada's numbers from their top of the clock readings. So in all likelihood, we did probably see some gusts stronger than this throughout the day. But Winnipeg, this was first thing this morning in the 6 o'clock hour where we saw the gusting upwards of 80, just about 90 kilometers an hour, but pretty generally as expected through the Red River Valley and the Interlake, gusts of 60 plus, over 80 at times through western Manitoba as well this morning. So a windy one this morning, and we're not quite done with it yet. All of these advisories, these yellow warnings this time, issued in advance of tomorrow's round. So we have a blowing snow advisory in place pretty generally south of the Trans-Canada, which I'll get into, looking at 5 to 10 centimeters tops. Winnipeg's really right on the line of that right now, but there's a snowfall warning in place for part of the Parkland, Roblin, Russell down the Trans-Canada corridor to, or the Yellowhead corridor to Minnedosa. This is where we're looking at the potential for 15 centimeters of snow, and we'll combine that with winds again tomorrow up to 60 or 70 at times, which will again create issues with blowing snow on highways. So high pressure really cleared us out. That's what's going to lead to cold temperatures through the overnight hours tonight. And then you can see this next low starting to nudge its way into the province as we get through the day. So this is 12:30 tomorrow afternoon. You can see a good chunk of the west already into the snow, the heaviest of which I'll show you in a minute, coming through, again, the southern part of the Parkland through the Riding Mountain region. This starts to reach the Interlake, then the Red River Valley as we get mid-afternoon tomorrow. This one's a lot quicker than the one that we saw moving through today. So by late afternoon into the evening, this is already out of the province. And then again, we're back into high pressure and behind this, and this is what's going to lead to another cool down as we get toward the weekend here. So what this is translating into, again, you're going to see through the Parkland into parts of the Interlake a general 10 to 15 centimeters once again. But again, south of the Trans-Canada, we're looking at 5 to close to 10 centimeters locally. Right now, I'm leaning toward closer to that 5-6 mark for Winnipeg and much of the Red River Valley. And then in behind that, some wind starts to build in. So calm winds overnight, and then once we get into the day on Friday, again, we're looking at those winds picking up, gusting to 50 or 60 into the afternoon. So again, that's going to cause another round of blowing snow on highways as we get through the evening hours. Tomorrow, temperature around -13, Brittany, maybe a few flurries lingering into Saturday, and temperatures much cooler into the weekend.
All right, thanks, Riley.
You're welcome.
Well, on the bright side, the snow makes it feel a lot more like Christmas out there. We have much more straight ahead. Stay with us. a celebration of light overcoming darkness. Jews are gathering this hour for the community menorah lighting at the Asper Jewish Community Campus. The CBC's Ian Fraze is there tonight. And Ian, this comes at a time of unease for many Jews.
Yeah, that's right, Brittany. Close to 100 people showed up here, some still lingering, perhaps a sign of how vital a night like this has been. And of course, what's happened outside these walls has been on top of mind for a lot of Jewish people as well. Just last weekend, 15 people killed, dozens more injured at an attack at a Jewish festival in Australia. And then closer to home in Winnipeg during a menorah lighting ceremony at the Health Sciences Centre. We spoke to a doctor who said a protester barged in with a racist, profane rant, telling the group there that they're genocidal terrorists. Police are still investigating. Thankfully, though, this event here tonight went off without a hitch. For a little more on that, I am joined now by Jeff Lieberman, president of the Jewish Federation of Winnipeg. First of all, close to 100 people here, such a great gathering. How vital was a night like this for the community?
It's really important for our Jewish community of Winnipeg to get together and have a chance to celebrate Hanukkah, which is the Festival of Lights. It's been a really tough week for our community as well as for Jews around the world, but it really is very important for our community to be able to get together, light the menorah, and celebrate amongst our friends in the Jewish community and lots of allies that aren't Jewish as well.
After what happened earlier this week at the HSC's menorah lighting, were there some additional safety precautions? Or ultimately, were there concerns something like that might happen here?
We weren't concerned about that. You know, we're positive that things are going to be okay, but we take extra precautions as well. The Winnipeg Police Service has been really helpful with us. They provide us with a police presence all week at all the different Hanukkah events, and today there was a big presence of police to ensure that everyone here was safe.
Is that an increase over what might have been expected prior to what happened in Australia, what happened here in Winnipeg just a few days ago?
Yes, for sure. We've had some police protection throughout the year at our events, but it's really been stepped up since what happened in Australia.
And speaking of that event, after what happened, how are people in the community feeling?
People feel insecure. An event like that, a terrorist attack could happen anywhere, and for it to happen where Jews are celebrating Hanukkah and there to enjoy themselves with their friends and their family, and then this happens. There was attacks in England a couple months ago in Boulder, Colorado. Jews don't feel secure around the world, and we feel that in Winnipeg as well.
Thanks for sharing, Jeff, and appreciate your time today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Back to you, Brittany, in the studio.
All right, thank you. That's CBC's Ian Fraze. At a meeting Thursday, Canada's Prime Minister and Ontario's Premier found themselves fielding questions on Washington's latest trade demands. The U.S. laid out conditions to extend the Canada-U.S.-Mexico Agreement, or CUSMA, next year. David Thurton reports on what those are and how Canadian political leaders are responding.
Good morning, Premier.
Ontario's Premier back on Parliament Hill meeting with the Prime Minister. The two leaders signed a new deal that's supposed to help speed up resource projects in that province, but instead faced questions about U.S. trade, including bans on American booze.
When the Prime Minister and President Trump come up with a great deal for both countries, we'd be more than happy to bring in some maybe Kentucky bourbon. But until then, we're going to hold off.
This after American Trade Representative Jameson Greer listed Washington's demands when the Canada-U.S.-Mexico Trade Agreement, or CUSMA, comes up for review next year. Those include lifting bans on American booze, changes to laws that require U.S. web giants to finance Canadian media content, plus market access for American dairy. The Prime Minister unwilling to budge on that.
We continue to stand by that. We'll continue to protect supply management.
Trump is not backing down either.
Tariffs, my favorite word, tariffs.
even raising the possibility in recent days of tearing up the North American trade deal altogether. In an interview with CBC News, Carney said he didn't hear that when he last met with the Mexican and American leaders.
He did not say any of those things. What we talked about, the two presidents and myself, we talked about the process for reviewing, renegotiating CUSMA.
Trade talks, though, have not restarted ever since
America's jobs and growth are at stake.
This anti-tariff ad paid for by the Ontario government aired in the U.S.
And that was the best ad that's ever been run, 12.4 billion views. We wanted to bring it to the attention of the American people.
The Prime Minister said Canada is ready to sit down any day and negotiate with the U.S. But downplaying expectations, Carney said the next opportunity to negotiate probably won't happen till the CUSMA review, which starts next year. David Thurton, CBC News, Ottawa.
Crime might be a problem in urban centres, but a recent incident in the Toronto area was different from most. The assault and robbery took place in broad daylight and was captured on video. Dale Manukduk has more.
A shocking robbery at a Mississauga, Ontario grocery store. Sabir Saeed was sitting down at his currency exchange and money transfer kiosk inside the store, getting ready to close up for the night. All of a sudden, a robber jumps over the kiosk security window and immediately punches him.
This punch was like on the face, so I got like nervous and I didn't know what happened. And then he started asking, where's the key? Where's the key?
Saeed was assaulted by two other suspects while the first rifled through a safe. In just 40 seconds, the suspects escaped with more than $50,000, according to Saeed.
Everything changed for our family. Within a minute. It took 1 minute.
Store staff and customers witnessed the incident. Some came to his aid.
It's definitely brazen. It's concerning. There's no regard here for anything. And what we've seen pretty consistently is that these individuals are a network, and they're responsible for multiple robberies across the GTA.
Saeed says police took more than 20 minutes to arrive on scene, but Peel police say plainclothes units were in the area within 3 minutes searching for the suspects. Police are looking for 4 male suspects who fled in a white Honda CR-V.
Acute, mildly.
Saeed suffered a fractured cheekbone. The husband and father of 3 says the stolen money wasn't insured. Police say this type of brazen robbery is similar to the rising trend of smash and grab thefts at jewelry stores. Saeed's daughter launched an online fundraiser. Within 2 days, it's generated more than $18,000 in donations.
Everyone was angered and frustrated about what happened to my dad. My dad's 65 years old. He was assaulted by young men and he couldn't really even defend himself.
We are scared.
Saeed says he isn't sure when he'll be able to return to work while he recovers from his injuries. Dale Manukduk, CBC News, Toronto.
The United Nations and aid groups are warning that operations in Gaza are at risk of collapse. Earlier this year, Israel introduced a new registration process for humanitarian groups, but they say the process could threaten the delivery of critical supplies. Rafi Bujkanian has the latest from Jerusalem.
With the weather calmer in the region now, Palestinians and aid groups are surveying the damage wrought by Rainstorm Byron late last week in the Gaza Strip, whether that's from all those floods or from walls that were damaged by bombing during the war. Palestinians held a protest in Gaza asking the international community for mobile homes, caravans to shelter them for the winter months in order to replace those non-winterized tents.
إن بنظرة العطف والحنان فهمت علي مطلبنا احنا مؤقت إنه يجيبوا لنا كرفان بدل الخيم.
With Israeli-controlled entry into Gaza, aid groups say restrictions on goods flowing in are already quite tight and could get tighter still in the next couple of weeks, with a December 31st deadline looming for organizations to register under a new process, giving all of their staff names to Israeli authorities for vetting. The United Nations calls this set of rules highly politicized and says it would force groups to violate international legal obligations One group I spoke to says it's been in Gaza since the 50s. It's tried registering under the new process and has not heard back since June. It says its international staff would have to depart sometime next year if Israel does not recognize its entry into this new process, leaving only locals behind and making aid delivery even slower, it says.
We have warehouses full in Cairo, in Jordan, and in the West Bank with our, shelter supplies, bedding, winter clothes, mattresses, kitchen items, medicine, and hygiene items.
Israel says the new process is necessary in order to root out Hamas members among these aid groups. It says more than 20 NGOs have already successfully registered under the new process, but has not disclosed how many could be impacted if they're not able to do that. Israel also says that it is committed to getting aid to the civilian population. Rafi Bujikanian, CBC News, Jerusalem.
All right, Riley's back in now. And Riley, we've really been thrust into this new alert system, and people are having to learn this really quickly.
Yeah, exactly, Brittany. So we had the orange alerts issued yesterday. We have some yellow ones back in place for parts of southern Manitoba tonight, but a good chunk of eastern Canada now under yellow alerts as well. This is because of the system that rolled through Manitoba as we got through the day today. So we have some winter storm watches, some flash freeze warnings, and a special weather statement down into southern Ontario, where they're looking at the rain and the wind from the system, Brittany, as we get through the next 24 hours in parts of eastern Canada.
Right, we're keeping a watch. Thanks, Riley.
You're welcome.
A controversial 72-hour detox center opened earlier this month, but its impact remains to be seen. What a former meth user thinks about that facility when we return. Stay with us. Manitoba's 72-hour detox or sobering center opened earlier this month. Right now, it's set to detain people highly intoxicated on drugs like meth. That won't happen until the new year. But it's been controversial, with some likening it to jail. CBC's Chloe Friesen spoke with a former meth user whose full identity we are protecting. Tammy is now 4 months sober.
So you realized that you wanted to stop, but you weren't sure how to or where to go. When did you find the answer to those questions?
I got COVID.
Okay.
Yeah, the night under the bridge, me and my boyfriend, we were so sick, him because he was doing that other stuff, and me, I had this really bad pain in my back, and I said, let's go to the hospital. So we went, and I found out I had COVID, and they put me in isolation. So when I woke up in isolation 3 days later, I was sober.
Let's talk about the new 72-hour detox center. It's a 20-room facility at 190 Disraeli Freeway. What are your thoughts on it, just regarding your previous experience and how the space might have played a role in your life back then?
Like when I first heard about it, when I heard, they get this space for 72 hours for people, I was like, oh, wow, like finally, that's great, like to hear something new that opened up for people that need help, because there's a lot of people out there that want help. I know that, like, there were people I know, and it was hard for us out there. And the 72-hour thing, like when I heard about it without seeing it at all first, I was like, wow, And now that like I seen the pictures of it and everything, I was thinking, oh, wow. Yeah, I was kind of taken back a little because I thought it would be a little more like a comforting setting or something, but it looked like the remand to me. Yes. But at the same time, like 3 days is enough time, because when I woke up 3 days later in the isolation, it helps you get back to a clear mind. So if somebody can have that time to come back to their clear mind and know that, they were sober for that long, or they got to be sober for that long, it could really help somebody, help people.
So the idea of it being 72 hours compared to 24, that makes sense to you?
Yeah. Yes, it did.
What difference do you think it makes having the 3 days instead of the 1 day?
Well, the 1 day is when I think like for meth, and like it's the 1 day is you're just so sick that you're at a very vulnerable plot where you're like, I need to get it.
Right. So if you would be released after 24 hours.
Yeah, you would just be go get it. Because you're just in that very vulnerable, like your body is saying, feed me, and and you're just like, okay. But after 3 days, you're well rested. Your body's kind of down, because when I quit, it took like 4 days of me sleeping, and I was okay.
What's your message to those who are still struggling and need help?
There's always hope, and don't give up trying. There's always somebody that will and always be there for you.
All right, Riley back in now. Riley, it was a busy day. The roads were fairly quiet when I came in this morning, but I know we're going to get into our favorite, our dog walking forecast. I have to say, well, the pup went out for a nice long walk this afternoon. She did not want to go outside this morning.
I think a lot of people were in that boat. They looked out the window, said sorry, and
that's what she did, ran right back up to bed.
Yeah, so I mean, we missed the dog walking forecast last night because we're sort of in the throes on the edge of the snow starting, so I thought we'd do a little bit of a palate cleanse, get us back into it tonight, especially because we have a dog who really loves the snow. This is Tika. Oh, this I think should have said Monica, if I remember correctly. I got that wrong. Send your pictures, regardless, to talkback@cbc.ca. And Tika actually is a big fan of the snow, loves going to Grand Beach in the wintertime to take some walks. So good on ya. If you dress for the weather, it's not too bad out there. Looking at -13 by the afternoon in Winnipeg. Again, we're looking at winds picking up as we get through the afternoon into the evening. I've got our afternoon temperature at -13. Depending on how fast the system pushes through, you might squeeze a -10 or a -12 or so out of that. So we'll see where we get tomorrow. I just wanted to quickly show you some snowfall totals. This is as of 9:30 this morning. So, I mean, there was still some accumulation to the eastern part of the province as we got through the day today. But by and large, this was as expected, that general 10 to 20 centimeters across much of southern Manitoba. And the caveat with this is when you're looking at some of these numbers across the south, there will be instances where maybe you only picked up 5 centimeters in your yard or in your town. But keep in mind, as the snow was falling, there was a lot of wind blowing around too. So it's really hard to get some of those accurate snowfall totals, especially when you have a lot of wind like we saw today. So upper level, what caused all this and why we saw so much moisture with this one in particular is because it was drawing all of this moisture off of the atmospheric river that's been hitting parts of British Columbia and parts of the western United States and pulling that all in across the prairie provinces. So that's why we got into some of those enhanced snowfall totals today, and why the next one is perhaps closer to the garden variety Alberta Clipper, although still packing a bit of a punch in parts of the province as we get through the day tomorrow. So overnight temperatures close to -30 across the south, again plunged back into the deep freeze thanks to high pressure. Winds calmed down, but still wind chill values close to the -40 mark. So that's frostbite on exposed skin in 15 minutes or less through the night. Looking at temperatures close to -35, -36 in Shamattawa. This is where we're looking at that wind chill close to -50 once again overnight. So bundle up overnight tonight. Snow starts to push into northwestern parts of the province as we get into the day tomorrow. -18 in Grand Rapids in the south. 10 to 15 centimeters through the parkland, and we're looking at this, Brittany, pushing across the province as we get through the afternoon. Your 7-day forecast just ahead.
Thanks, Riley.
You're welcome.
Winnipeg has a breakdancing pioneer who calls our city home. He goes by the b-boy name Flexum, and he teaches breaking at the Graffiti Art Gallery. As a former world champion, he's considered one of the best ever to compete in the sport. CBC's Jim Agapito dropped in on one of his classes.
And spin down! My name is Xavier Lopez, aka B-Boy Flexum. I am the coach for our NBA Youth Olympic program.
Lopez, a former breaking world champion and a member of the legendary Jabberwockies, started this program 2 years ago at the Graffiti Art Gallery in Winnipeg.
Let's go! Show me that cool pose at the end. Swoop! Bing! Yeah, chicken nuggies.
To breakdancers, he's considered an all-time great, and he wanted to share everything with the kids here.
If there was given a chance, if there was something here to, everybody to grasp and, have access to, everybody would be able to thrive. There you go. 3, 2, 1, dance.
That's where the Youth Olympic program comes in. Lopez has been training young breakdancers for the 2026 Youth Olympic Games in Senegal, where it's an official event. Breakers in the NBA program compete in 4 regional events to qualify for nationals.
Now, how that program runs, you can place first, second, and third, and those would be the highest points. So we reward our winner based off points, and by that, the person with the most points goes to the national, which could be in Toronto, Montreal, Alberta, Vancouver, and hopefully one day, love to host one here in Winnipeg.
The breakers here say it's about process, not just performance in the competition.
Well, you get to move a lot, spin. I love to spin. And you also get to jump. Jumping's fun. Yeah.
Is this something you want to do for a while?
Yeah.
How long?
Maybe for I want to go to Olympics to do it.
You want?
Yeah.
Okay, Nico, I know that you've been breaking for a while and you've won some stuff, correct?
Yes.
Tell me about what breakdancing has been like for you.
It's been something it's been coursing through my veins. It's something about fun. Once you go in a competition, you're not gonna win sometimes, but if you just practice enough, you'll win.
What's it about doing breakdancing that's different that you like?
Because I used to do gymnastics, and breakdancing does do some gymnastics, which I think is cool.
1, 2. That same leg goes twice. You don't push back. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right? Oh my gosh, if to have one of my students just make the team, I think honestly would be the world. I mean, it's just a dream come true. But to see some of them that are really taking this really to the next level on their own, without any pressure from anybody, parents or including their coach, but to see them just make the team or even get to qualify against another province's best dancers and perhaps beat them, that right there, knowing how that feels as a young dancer when I was, that would mean the world to them. Just seeing them happy is enough for me.
The final NBA Youth Qualifier is on December 20th at the Graffiti Art Gallery. Jim Agapito, CBC News, Winnipeg.
3, 1, 2, 3.
Still ahead, the call for help to spread cheer. Plus, Riley's back with a last check on our forecast. If you have a car and your license, you could be Santa's helper this season. Christmas is a week away and the countdown is on to get hampers into the hands of families across the city. The Christmas Cheer Board still has more than 5,000 hampers waiting to be delivered. The board is asking anyone with a vehicle and spare time to drop by their warehouse at 133 Paramount Road. Hampers make a huge difference in people's lives.
Sometimes that can be the only gift that a child in the household gets. Oftentimes the food is something that they are going to go out without. So the hamper with all the food that we have contained in it is something that should last for up to a week. And then of course that gift to those children can make the difference in a young child's life.
And you can just show up. There's no need to call ahead or register.
All right, having a look at your 7-day forecast and Christmas Day now on the 7-day, which you'll see in just a moment. So again, tomorrow, prepare for another breezy one, particularly through the afternoon. Close to 5 centimeters, I think, in Winnipeg, but 10 on the high end in parts of the city, I think, is possible. Minus 13, minus 15. We get back under high pressure through the weekend. That's going to cool us down to start winter into Sunday at minus 17 degrees. Good chance of a few more flurries as we get into Monday. And there we go as we get toward the end of next week there, minus 10 for Christmas Eve on Wednesday, and maybe a bit breezy into Christmas Day on Thursday with a high of minus 9 degrees. So right now looking like free of precipitation at least, but maybe a bit breezy.
But a white Christmas.
Yeah. Well, with just 1 week left until Christmas, Santa Claus is trying to cover as much ground as possible before the big night.
You've seen him in malls and various events spreading the holiday cheer, but Santa will go to all kinds of lengths and depths to get people in the joyful spirit.
Father Christmas and Mrs. Claus have cheer to spread even underwater. The iconic couple donned more than their red suits to plunge into the holiday mood here.
And of course, they even brought a Christmas tree along into this marine aquarium in Rio de Janeiro. The organizers hope Santa swimming with sharks, manta rays, and fish will help conservation efforts, well, of course, lifting everyone's spirits.
Quick side note, I heard someone the other day refer to an aquarium as a liquid zoo. It made me think for a moment.
There we go. Well, I don't think it's going to be a white Christmas in Rio, but it will be here. Stay safe out there. We'll see you back here tomorrow.